Recording in progress. Good morning. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. And hopefully my background's not too noisy. Taha and I are both traveling right now. Still giving you guys value on our Tuesdays, and hopefully everything works out right. It's been a while since we've done this and streamed it. Zach, if you would text me on the chat as well, make sure everything's going right. All month we're going over this sixth sense. And what does that mean? Intuition, what does it mean? Well, it's really about knowing about what you're thinking about and being intentional about what you're thinking about. And what you're thinking about, ultimately, you're going in that direction. The real deal to this, are you doing the things that you want on purpose? Are you living the way you want to on purpose? Are you deciding what you're doing, where you're going on purpose? Is it really your purpose to go there and do this and do that and to have this and to have that? And this inner guide, whether we're aware of it, is what's taking us to where we're going. The better we get at disciplining ourselves intentionally to go where we want to go, to live the way we want to live, the better we will. Let's see if I can put this video on. I'm going to mute this.
So it's important that you understand that. Now, some people don't. Field series. He said, now right here we come to a rather strange fact. We tend to minimize the things we can do goals we can reach. And for some equally strange reason, we think other people can do things that we cannot. Because I want you to understand that's not true, that you have deep reservoirs of talent and ability within you that can be brought to the surface. Now, I probably listened to that at least 1,000 times. If you had asked me if I understood it, I would have said, of course I understand it. And the truth is, I really didn't. Because here I was sitting thinking Bill could do something I couldn't. Well, at any rate, about the same time I thought I wished I could do that, but I can't, that record started to play in my head. And I thought, that's what Earl Nightingale means. So I made a decision standing in the back corner of the ballroom at the O'Hare Hyatt in Chicago that I would not only learn what Bill was doing, but I would get him to teach me. He became a mentor of mine. Now, I didn't even know him. I just knew who he was. But I got to know him, and he became a mentor, and he really taught me how to speak. Now, I speak nothing like Bill Gove. And his objective was to make sure that I wasn't trying to be Bill Gove. His objective was to cause me to feel comfortable in front of an audience. And that's what you're asking me. He said, you don't feel comfortable because you're wondering what they think of you. Are you doing a good job? Your energy is inverted. It's on yourself. He said, if you've got something worth teaching, you fall in love with the idea of sharing that with the people. And that's what you're doing. You're attempting to get them to understand something that's of real value. You know it's of value because you've used it and you've proved it. And from that day on, it was a breeze. I can get in front of audiences, and I think I've got 8,000 people I've got to get in front of on Saturday morning. I'll be as relaxed as I am sitting here in the studio myself right now. And you will be too when you quit thinking of you and you get enthusiastic about what it is you're teaching, and you're just thinking of you want to share it with the audience. Whoever the audience is, could be 2 people or 20 people or 22,000 people. It doesn't matter how many. You're just working with them. That's the way to do it. Focus on helping them. Think of how you're helping them, how the idea that you're going to explain will help them. There you go.
Thank you, Bob. This next question is from Byron. Money is a
So here Bob is talking about the law of vibration and attraction, and as well as understanding his own consciousness and what he's thinking about. Now here he was, one of the stories, he was talking about how he wanted to learn how to speak, and he was saying, my God, if I could talk like him. Now again, in the rational mind is a lot of times it's a faithful servant. We're normally just serving it, doing things for it without any consequence to ourselves. We're not thinking about what we're doing, and we're just trotting along life, and we're really not thinking about what we're thinking about. Something clicked with Bob. It was I call it intervention, a higher consciousness. Being observant of your own thoughts, being observant of yourself to yourself allows you to take ownership. And that awareness, which genius is awareness, it's about being aware. The genius is a higher consciousness above normal train of thought. Genius is above average. Genius is a higher awareness from the normal, typical people around them. And that genius is something that we all have, and we can all adapt to it, and we can all change. But if you're not getting emotionally involved with what you're doing and where you're going, you're never going to tap into that higher side of your personality, which is the genius part of you. It is the soul part of it. But when you can do this, you're able to take ownership, and ownership means freedom. So everyone I talk to, at the end of the day, they're looking for freedom. Freedom from this or freedom from that, ability to go beyond this or to go beyond that. And intuitively, we're perfect. Spiritually, we're perfect. Now, what's ruling our life then? If we're perfect and we have this ability, innate ability, with divine perfection, what is it that's holding you back? Why are the circumstances and the conditions always showing you up and showing you that you're not capable of doing certain things? Now, it's going to go back to the way you think. And this intuition that we talk about, the intuition, delivers everything right on time for what you're supposed to have. We don't get what we want. We get what we are. And it's the physical world as we see it is delivering results to us right on time for our perception. So this is where shift in consciousness must be developed. And I can't do it for you. We teach this information, but I can't force this higher awareness. You've got to develop it. And it starts from within. The laws and rules which govern every individual and which we cover, and we've been covering it in these lessons, are exact laws. And these exact laws cover the material universe as we see it. Now, let's go back and let's think about what I'm saying, how these laws are exact for you. They're exact for me. Go back 5 years ago. Have you not created the life that you're living in? Were you not thinking about certain things? Were you not thinking about how to earn money? And it's pretty much an equal proportion to the way you live right now. Are you not thinking about maybe relationships, how your relationships are right now? Are they not a product of the way you were thinking about? Has not the 5 years led up to exactly where you're at today? The home you're living in, the car you drive? Has not every thought been governed by the way you think, to earn money, to have relationships, to live in a physical world, thinking through your physical body? Everything that you have right now has been exact laws. Now you can act in accordance with these laws, or you can discard them. But you cannot in any way alter them. The laws forever operate and hold you to strict accountability to them. So, and also, it doesn't allow for the slightest ignorance as well. There's really no allowance for ignorance. And when I say that, you're going to get exactly what you are. It's an exact law. When we look at this exact law, we're looking at the perpetual transmutation of thought energy. Now, we help people develop the way they think and go beyond. But the very first thing to do that is you've got to have a desire bigger than where you're at. Now, let me ask you, do you truly want to go beyond where you're at? Do you truly want more than where you're at today? Are you ready and willing to go beyond and learn how to develop yourself to advance in your lifetime? And we've got one shot. One, as far as we know it. Are you willing to go beyond? Now, for the years that I've traveled, I would say through time, through experiences, I was traveling through my beliefs. And setting goals was how I advanced myself. Setting goals and working toward those goals, working on my self-image, was what opened up the possibilities for a new future for me. Betting on me, working on me. And the laws changed. But again, there is no allowance for ignorance. Now, when we take the idea of physical properties in life and how physical properties demonstrate our consciousness, when we're talking about physical properties, we're talking about the way we live, the way we experience life. And the only thing that really controls the way we live in the physical world and how we experience the physical world is our consciousness towards money. When it comes to relationship, our consciousness towards how we treat people, how we treat ourselves. So these laws follow exact laws according to the principles behind them, which is your thoughts behind relationships, your perception behind money. Now, wherever you're at, whatever part of the world that you're at, when it comes to money, you have developed yourself to earn a certain amount of money, not because you couldn't earn more, but because you didn't know how. And by the perpetual transmutation of thought energy, this law of vibration, you walked into a set of circumstances on purpose to earn money. And the purpose was money. Now, you probably really didn't think it out, though. You probably just try to figure out how to earn and how to get beyond just the bare necessities. But that's not good enough in life. To get to the bare necessities does not really give you a fulfilled lifestyle. And I really started to observe this notion because the average individual normally only uses his imagination on purpose to fulfill the bare necessities. So how many of you are earning money now and stopped a little bit or right at the bare necessities, or stopped just slightly over the bare necessities? When did we stop using our imagination? That's your question. When did we stop? And why did we stop? Why would somebody stop using their imagination to accumulate wealth? And it's acquire wealth. We don't get it. We don't take it. We earn it. It's earned. Money has to be earned. And a money mindset has to be developed to acquire it. The acquisition of money is not by accident, but followed by very strict laws of putting things in the right order. We frequently see rich and poor living in the same environment and often engaged in the same vocations. When two people are in the same locality and in the same business, and one gets rich while the other remains poor, it shows that getting rich is not primarily a matter of environment. Some environments may be more favorable than others, but when two people in the same business are in the same neighborhood and one gets rich and the other fails, it indicates that getting rich is the result of doing things in a certain way. Now, this law of prosperity follows an exact law from the people that live in the same neighborhood to the ones that live in opposite neighborhoods. One that lives in the complete poverty and the one that excels completely out of that neighborhood into a completely other zip code where they earn 10 times that amount of money. Now, it follows that by law, by three laws. The laws of compensation state the amount of money you earn will be in equal proportion to these three laws: the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty in replacing you. Now, depending on the business you go into and what your money mindset was. If your money mindset was just to get to the necessities, you probably took care of that. If your money mindset was to get a little bit above the necessities, you probably did that. But I want you to ask yourself, when did you stop imagining? And why did you stop imagining how you would acquire money? You're going to fall into the common thread the common trap. That you conformity. Now, why would people conform? This is going to go back to your beliefs. Your beliefs got to support. And if they don't support going beyond, eventually you get to the point where you conform. We're live streaming today. So if you're wherever you're at, you could be, right now I'm in Louisiana, checking on one of our companies, working with one of our partners, checking in with them before the holidays, getting things into a better order like always. If we don't know where we're going, if we didn't decide where we're going, we're stuck. If we didn't decide to go beyond our necessities, we will conform and eventually get stuck. But there's something inside of you that's going to want to have more and be more and achieve more. And eventually the urge is going to come back again. I was talking to people yesterday in the call where a lot of times they begin to study or they begin to want to take action, and then they hit the terror barrier, and the terror barrier pulls them back and they go back in. They get scared, the fear, the doubt, and worry comes in. And they let go of the vision, they let go of the dream. They're working hard maybe. And working hard is not the answer either. And eventually they get burnt out. They stop doing what they're doing. They conform for a little bit, but the natural urge of man is to grow. Spiritual essence is perfect, and it knows it is. And that's why it's always urging you to become more, to do more, to have more. If you're stuck in this vicious cycle, it's time to change. How many years do you want to keep doing the same thing over and over again and go nowhere fast? I want you to really, really think about that. How many years do you want to continue to do the same thing over and over again and really not accomplish much more? I know you don't want to, but what are you going to do about it? This is where decision making is so important. And again, by law, the decisions you make or you don't make are decisions. Decisions are the making and breaking of many people. These natural laws that we're talking about, the intuition, the sixth sense, if you start to think about how well they work, to some degree, you use them to grow. To some degree, you use them to develop yourself. To some degree, to whatever degree it was before you performed. Now, you made decisions in the past. You just haven't decided to keep going. And again, the chances are you don't even know why you stopped. But this is the power of the subconscious mind. This is what we teach. In the subconscious mind, there's a program in there. And if you're not designed to go further than where you're at, that program wants to stop you. That's why you stopped. Your beliefs didn't support going any further. Now, there was a time in my life where I was really, really, I would say, stuck. And I talk about it every now and then. 1,460 days, I did the same thing over and over and over again to no avail. Nothing would change. And I couldn't earn any more money in that place because that's the amount of money I was earning. I'm pretty sure I could have found a different way, but it wouldn't have led me where I wanted to go. And I did start thinking about different ways to earn money, but it wasn't going to allow me to earn the amount of money that I wanted, because the type of business was more of a poverty mindset business. The way it was designed and built, it was going to only earn a certain amount. And I had to make a change. I had to make a change to find a company that would allow me to you could say, give me the allotment, allow the allowance to grow and to build in. And I looked for it on purpose because I wanted to earn more money. I wanted more money, more time, more freedom. And that wasn't the answer either, but it was through this process of setting goals and working towards my goals that I started to become more, I started to achieve more, I started to develop myself more, and I started to see more in me than I didn't see before. And as I kept doing that, I kept setting higher goals and higher goals and higher goals. And before you know it, I'm off building my own companies. And the companies we built them on purpose to allot for different beliefs on purpose. Because I knew that I wanted the opportunity, and if I wanted the opportunity, I was going to give it to other people. So the realization that opportunity is all around you and are abundantly full of life and always normally within arm's reach. Are you looking for them? Are you thinking about them? And when will you make the decision to feel you're worthy to act on them? These are all things I had to do. I came from poverty. I came from working for peanuts to doing millions of dollars a month. And it was because of the books that I was studying. It was because of the research that I was doing that changed me. Now we're teaching this, and we're teaching this to everyone globally, really. And we're doing it on purpose. Spanish. Let me get this pulled up here. Why did we stop using our imagination to acquire more wealth? Why do we stop using our imagination to acquire more health? Why do we stop using our imagination to live a more fuller life? What makes a man stop? What makes a man successful? Or what makes a man successfully stop growing? Successfully stop at their every endeavor? What makes a man do that? Well, this is where we're talking about the subconscious mind. We teach this quite a bit, and we do it on purpose so that people have an understanding of the mind and the way it works. We have a conscious mind, subconscious mind, and then we have the body. Conscious mind is being activated. Conscious mind is intellectually thinking about everything that's happening around you, picking up all the information around you. On the top part of the conscious mind, we have these antennas. Those antennas pick up information from the outside world. They help you communicate. They help you reason. It helps you understand your environment. Hear, see, taste, touch your environment, smell your environment. But the average individual doesn't go past the senses. They just use their senses to create their life. They really don't use imagination, which was the secret to success. What stopped you from imagining a goal anymore, to have anyone? What triggered you and stopped you from being more? A lot of people didn't know they were programmed. And according to the way you're programmed is what you're supposed to have in life. No more, no less. A lot of people may say that, well, no, we have free will. Do you? If you really had free will, why did you stop growing? If you really had free will, what's keeping you stuck? This is where we go back into the subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind is what controls your behavior. It controls what your body does. It also controls the law of vibration. But this is why the higher side of your personality is always being activated and always knows that there's more and sees there's more. When we look at the spiritual being, we're looking at the creative part of your personality. Then we're looking at the physical part of you. The physical part of you has already been designed to act, think, walk, talk like your environment. And it's the body that's normally ruling the mind, telling it what to do, controlling it, not allowing even it, allowing the higher side of your personality to expand and grow more. In The Strangest Secret, Earl Nightingale was talking about the strangest thing and how it was so peculiar, so odd that man would not think. They don't imagine. Now, it wasn't just what they did, it's what made them do it. That's strange. What would cause a man not to desire to be more, to have more? It's through awareness that you grow. I've had people that I've talked to and they said, I don't have the time and I don't have the money to do this. You're never going to have the time and you're not going to have the money because you weren't supposed to. So then this is where you've got to make a decision that you're going to improve where you're at on purpose, because nothing's going to change because it wasn't supposed to for you. I found myself stuck at an early age because the programs and behaviors was in poverty. And I noticed that the people that are in poverty are normally stuck much quicker. Awareness to money hasn't expanded very much. So those people get stuck really quick normally. And I really didn't want to stay there. But I had to go beyond the animalistic state. I had to go beyond the masses. When we look at this 7 levels of awareness, we're looking at levels of consciousness. We have the first start of consciousness. It's react, fight, or flight. Then the next level of consciousness is we get our consciousness from the masses, the people around us. This is very important. I want you to really look at this and go back to it. Go back to the study of it. Go back and listen to it over and over and over again. So you get a better understanding about you. Here, we arrived. Our consciousness begins to develop, and we start to go beyond. How do we go beyond? The only way that we can. We start to learn. We start to learn and follow the masses. And we start to take on their group habits, their group behaviors. We start to pick up their paradigms, the way they think. We do the only thing that we can do. We adapted. We adapted to the surroundings. So we took on all of these people's beliefs. We took on all these people's ideas, and depending where their level of awareness was, is more or less where we will be. The average individual normally aspires, individualizes himself to give themselves a little bit different, what we call identity. We normally try to identify ourselves a little bit differently so that we can individualize ourselves. So we normally get to here in the spectrum. But normally we get to the individualized experience. When it comes to disciplining ourselves to be somebody different, that subconscious part of the mind controls your behavior and it stops you. When it comes to discipline, if you're not disciplined to give yourself a command and do it, if you're not disciplined to operate, to control the way you think, to control the law of vibration, control the flow of thought energy. The average individual does not go beyond the discipline stage. They normally individualize themselves and they get into the discipline and they give up and they let go. Why? Because this strategy that they took on here, their life strategy, wasn't the right one. Their life strategy from the masses normally to do enough to get by. The masses, the common area here is to just go a little bit above the animal kingdom and let's cover our bare necessities. Let's cover our bare necessities, and we never learn and we never develop the higher faculties of our personality, and we teach that in these lessons. We never develop the higher faculties, and we never understand them. We never get into the teachings of the mind. We never understand the subconscious mind. And the average individual aspires. We all aspire. We all begin to individualize ourselves. So here we're traveling through time. The error is in not disciplining yourself and setting goals that are worthy of you. Setting goals that are worthy of you. Deciding how much money you'll earn. On purpose. Now, I asked the question earlier, why would you stop growing? Why would you not decide to earn more money? When was it that you stopped addressing the thing that controls everything in the physical world, money? We're conditioned not to value money. We're conditioned to value what? Our strategy, money-making strategy, is to value production. Now, when we look at the strategy of value production, this is where you trade your time by the hour or by salary. If you're conditioned to value production more than you value creation, if you're conditioned to think like the masses and where you trade your time by the hour or by salary, you got and you are getting their results today. Today. This is you today. You desired something greater. You began to express your uniqueness, but somewhere you didn't go beyond the unlearning, relearning stage. And this thought trip, depending whatever age you're at, you fell back more or less to the average of the people around you. You may be a little bit better results. You may be living a little bit better than them, but you're still locked in. How do I know this is real? Because I studied this. I studied this with everything I have on purpose, because I did not want to have the results that I was getting anymore. And I didn't want to be like the people that I was raised around anymore. And I didn't want to get the results that everybody was getting around me, because I knew it was to a dead-end road. If you're trading your time by the hour and you're trading your time by salary, you can only make so much time. Why? Because you're trading your body. And when you trade your body by the hour, you can't trade anything else. That strategy is what 97% of people do. That is their money-making strategy. 97% trade their body by the hour. So you run out of time. I've worked for 18, 19 hours. I was working really hard. And I was broke. Why? Again, my level of awareness was not there yet. I was setting goals and I did progress, but it took time as well. There was nobody teaching me this. Not directly. I had to go learn it. I had to go study it. I had to go research. I had to pay the price. And this is exactly what we're telling each and every one of you. The only difference is that we've shaved off years of having to learn this on your own. You have people that have been studying this for their whole life, that have given their whole life to the development of man, to the development of consciousness. They've given their whole life to the study, and we broke it down to help you improve, to help you live the way you want to live. The question is, are you ready? Are you willing? Now, does this information work? No, you work. If you don't apply it, it won't work. This information doesn't do you any good if you're not willing to accept what you have to do to win. The information is knowledge, but you will never understand the knowledge, and you will never get the understanding of this wisdom until you express it in behavior. It's through the knowing and doing. I've met people that have been studying books for years. And never get any great results from life. Get any great results from the books they were reading, because they were missing the subconscious mind and how it controls your behavior. If we miss the part that controls our behavior, if we miss the part that controls our life, which is the law of vibration, if we miss and we don't understand that part of our life, we're stuck. Doesn't matter how much education you have. It doesn't matter how much college degrees you have, bachelor's, master's, doctorates. If you don't understand the mind, what creates your reality, what's created your reality, what's giving you your results, you don't understand life. And that's the truth. We're at our time here. I work with men, and I've asked them several years, men and women, are you ready to invest in you? Because that's what it takes. It's an investment. And you have to pay the price. People that pay attention. And people that pay are usually going to do something with the knowledge that they're learning on purpose to definite ends. Those are the people that win. The people that pay, and then they pay the price, put the knowledge into action. So only one way to win in life. Only one. You got to do what you've learned. Take a look at what we're doing. Make a decision that you're going to discipline yourself. Don't go ask your husband. Don't go ask your wife. Don't go ask the boyfriend. Don't go ask the girlfriend. I'm asking you, what do you want? And are you ready and willing to work on you? Are you ready and willing to make a committed decision that you will no longer be in the same place in 6 months, in 1 year from now? If you are, send me a message. Once again, we have our Scaling for Life classes Monday through Friday, and we have our Creator's Lifestyle and Business Matrix programs that we teach on the weekends. This is where we teach people the process. Scaling for Life, these classes that we're doing here is kind of like sharpening your sword every day, getting a good edge, staying sharp. The programs themselves is a process of 12 months of leading you to the winner's edge. It's in you. I want to thank everyone for being here, and have a wonderful week.